Is BTS hiding something bigger than what known to the public all this time? Why Jungkook finally speaks up? And why the name Taehyung is once again the center of attention? A shocking statement just shook the K-pop community. Jungkook, one of BTS's brightest stars, finally decided to talk. But not just any statement. Not about music projects, not about love, and not about his military activity. They're talking about something that has been hidden for a long time, about injustice, about pain pent-up, about TM, and most surprisingly about how as HYB, the giant agency that houses BTS during this time, it never seems to really appreciate V, alias Kim Taehyung. Questions keep piling up. Why Jungkook speaking now? Why does not he himself speak? And most surprisingly, could it be true that HYB treats its team differently than other members? If true, what is the reason? Is this the beginning of BTS' internal rift? Or is this the last form of solidarity left between the members? Jungkook's words and his sudden live broadcast spread quickly. He did not name anyone directly, but each team knows who he means. With a serious expression and a voice that had shaking, Hunchback said, "Sometimes even the most sincere can be ignored, not because they do not valuable, but because people are too blind to see it." Those words hurt a lot. In minutes, social media is flooded with speculation. The army of the whole world is united under one question. Is what we believe to be a close-knit family, has it cracked secretly from the inside? Speculation constantly evolving. Many fans began to re-examine past interactions between the sun and the moon for a few last year. Old behind-the-scenes clips and BTS variety shows are being lifted again. Netizens pay attention to patterns that may go unnoticed. Why do Taehyung often receive fewer prominent vocal lines on the title track? Why does he stand up more often on the edge of the stage than in the middle? And why on some important occasion he was seen so empty, as if there was something he wanted to say, but always refrained from being more curious during times of his duty in the military? It's a rare name mentioned by the agency. While information about J-Hope, Jin, and even Jungkook's overseas activities consistently published by HYB, updates on T is almost forgotten. But Taehyung is known as one of the most loyal and global fan bases among the members of BTS. When asked if this related to BTS's new contract that has triggered recent heated discussions, a source in the South Korean entertainment industry said that there are several points of disagreement between Taehyung and management. Speculated that it is the crucial moment before a big decision made. Did T ever consider leaving BTS? Is there was a failed deal? These questions still unanswered. Even more painful, some sources claims that Taehyung has filed several creative ideas for solo projects or even BTS, but these ideas were flatly rejected by the management. If true, this treatment is very contrary to what the military believes. That BTS is a family, and every member of it is valued equally. Now all eyes are on two things: official statement from the HYB that has not yet come, and potential reaction from Taehyung. There are many teams that waiting for Taehyung to speak, but so far she remained silent. On his last upload, he only uploaded a photo of the sunset without explanation. Between real facts and narratives shaped by emotions, perceptions, or even a point of fanaticism, one of the most common mistakes that occurs amid the euphoria of a large fan base like ARMY is to rush to conclude an issue based on cut clips, truncated statements, or gestures that are not fully understood in context. In this case, Jungkook's sentences that can sometimes be ignored by even the most sincere are open to various interpretations. There was not a single moment in the live broadcast where Jungkook explicitly mentioned Taehyung's name or stated that HYB was unfair. Taking one sentence from a 10-minute live broadcast and linking it to a specific narrative without direct confirmation from the relevant party is a high-risk practice. In fact, many other fans who also watched the live broadcast said that Jungkook's statement was more a personal reflection on life and the pressures of being a celebrity, not as a form of insinuation to the management or defense to other BTS members. In addition, the absence of a direct statement from Taehyung to date also shows that it could bet his issue is actually not as big as imagined. If there is indeed significant unfair treatment from HYB towards him, It is very possible that Taehyung will at least give a clearer signal or even voice directly through his personal social media as he has done on other issues. But Yang just the opposite. Do not make statements to the contrary and even show professional attitude all the time. This suggests that most likely what is perceived as unfair is just a one-sided perception of some fans. Actually, when discussing the distribution of vocals or screen time in the BTS project, we need to remember that the distribution is not entirely a one-party decision. Many technical and artistic factors are considered, including song composition, music genre, to the uniqueness of each member's voice. Not to mention that the decision also often involves producers and creative collaborators abroad, not just HYB management. Therefore, to conclude that HYB didn't appreciate Taehyung just because he got fewer vocal parts on one particular song is a very premature and unfounded statement in the professional field. HYB has repeatedly stated that all members of BTS are treated equally and given creative freedom in developing solo and group projects. This statement is reinforced by the fact that all BTS members have released their respective solo projects, including Taehyung, who released her solo album Crossover with the full support of the agency. Even the promotion of the album Pundalukukin widely by appearing in global media, exclusive photo shoots to international showcases. If it's true that HYB doesn't appreciate T, why do they still give him a big stage for a solo project? We should also not forget that all BTS members, including T, have signed a contract extension with HYB in 2023. It shows that they still believe in the existing system and the management that has been working with them for more than a decade. It does not make sense if an artist is still under the management of Taehyung Yang treated unfairly. This confirms that the relationship between Taehyung and HYB is still professional and healthy, at least until official information says otherwise. The reaction of the HYB, which chose silence, also needs to be understood from a crisis management perspective. In the entertainment industry, sometimes silence is not a way to justify accusations, but a way to dampen a wildly growing problem without making the situation worse. Clarifications issued as the situation heats up could spark further controversy. HYB may wait for the right moment or conduct an internal evaluation before releasing any statement. Finally, the ARMY itself has an important role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem between artists, agencies, and the public. An overly reactive fan base and easily ignited speculation have the potential to harm the idol himself. Instead of providing constructive support, the fan base can turn into new pressures that make it difficult for members to focus on their work. ARMY is known as one of the strongest fandom in the world. But that power must be accompanied by the responsibility to remain critical, objective, and thoughtful in responding to each issue.